Welcome back to AFTV, guys. We're here, me and Turkish, at Southampton for the preview because we go to St Mary's today, 3 o'clock kickoff, UK time that is. I know everyone's watching Gooners from around the world, which we love, but it is a 3 p.m. kickoff here in the UK. Arsenal need to bounce back. Before we even get the chance to bounce back, Tottenham played Brighton a couple hours before. So it's another chapter in the top 4 race. Some people say there is no top 4 race. I know you were feeling very dejected. The players can't think that though.
They can't. They got to do their job, but you know they got to do their job anyway. You know, at the end of the day, I'm feeling dejected because of the last 2 results. I was quite optimistic a few weeks ago, and the top 4 race for me, it's over until I see Tottenham start slipping up. Right. I know mathematically it's still there, and you know we win all our games, goal difference becomes the issue, but I just think losing at home to Brighton, the damage has been done. But then again, in January, after the 0-0 at Burnley, I thought the season was over. But then we managed to get back into it.
I thought after Everton, back-to-back defeats, terrible performances, I thought there's no way this team can get that kind of run together. But Tottenham fans saw Southampton and Wolves come to their ground and beat them convincingly in a matter of days, and they've managed to turn it around. So you've got to feel that with 8 games to go, there's more twists and turns, surely.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of games to go.
Yeah.
There's a lot of games to go. So, you know, there's definitely another twist to come. But whether that twist comes at a time when we're still in it or not, because we've got big games coming up even before the North London derby.
That's true, yeah.
This one coming up is a big game. Southampton, you know, they're licking their wounds off of last weekend's result, obviously getting hammered by Chelsea. So I'm sure they're not going to win a repeat of that. And Hasenhüttl's a good manager. You know, although across the years he's had a couple 9-0s, he's coming off a 6-0 this weekend. He's a good manager, and I think he'll get them back on job. So we're in for a difficult game.
When all is said and done, though, it's still in Arsenal's hands. Because win our game in hand, Chelsea away, win the North London derby, you know, win all our games. I'm not saying we are, but
you have to add win all our games by a considerable amount of goals. Because
because if we win our game in hand, we're level on them, but below on goal difference. Win the North London derby, we're above.
Oh, yeah.
So
fair enough.
When all said and done, still in our hands. They've got to go to Anfield. Surely they've got to believe Arsenal. Listen, can Arsenal win a North London derby? We beat them with 3-0 up at half-time earlier in the season. This squad's capable of doing that. Can they go to the Bridge and win? We did the double on Chelsea last season. So we've got to believe that this club can put together the run and do. I remember a point Lee made in Forever Arsenal. Go check that out on AFTV VIP. He said everyone thought Tottenham were completely out of it and they won at the Etihad.
Yeah.
You know, no one's expecting to do that. Sure, then they lost at Burnley and kind of became quite funny in itself then. But the point is, they were able to pull something out of the bag no one expected that got them back in the race. I don't think Southampton is, and with all respect to Southampton, I don't think this is the statement game. Arsenal's got to come and do their thing and get back to winning ways. But there are opportunities for that later in the run as well.
Listen, there's going to be more pressure on us if Tottenham go and do the job against Brighton.
Yeah,
because
which
then,
is expected, let's be honest.
Then, you know, it's a must-win anyway. But then it's literally the top 4 race is down to that game against Southampton, let alone Chelsea, Man United or West Ham. You know, sometimes I think I've been guilty of it as a fan base. We've looked too far ahead, and we looked at those 3 games coming up as a potential, you know.
Yeah, you're right, yeah.
Instead, going into those 3 games, we've slipped up a couple of times. So you're right, Southampton, it's not the worst team to be playing at this time.
I said that about Brighton. But
exactly. After that game, Brighton probably one of 2-3 teams that you'd select out of the league to play after losing 3-0 to Palace at home at the Emirates as well. And, you know, it is what it is. We saw what happened last week. But there's still a job to do. And this season has had a lot of twists.
Yeah, it has, yeah.
You know, it's had a lot of twists. Chelsea were top at one point. United were in and around the top 4. Now they're out of it, in my opinion. Tottenham, 3 losses in and around the City win away from home. Arsenal, you know, January transfer window, nothing. But we managed to get into April with some belief. I hope for that twist to be a big one, because we're going to need a big twist for us to get back into that top 4 position. But it's I'm different to you. I think you're more optimistic than me. I'm more pessimistic than you.
Listen, if you ask me deep down, I think it is over. But I want to transmit the belief that that's a word Arteta uses. The belief that it can happen, Because the players need to believe it can happen, and the fans need to believe it can happen, and we're the chasers now. We were the hunted for a good 2 months actually.
Yeah.
But now it's us chasing again.
And we've done
so
well
the pressure's
chasing.
reserved.
Yeah, I think we've done well chasing.
Reversed, yeah.
And I've always said going into this stage of the season, being in that position kind of is a different pressure.
Yeah.
And it's a different pressure on young shoulders. We've got the youngest team in the league. And that different pressure is where you need your experience. We've gone into it with 2 big injuries in terms of experience, not only quality. So I think the pressure is still on because it's still achievable, like you said. But now, being the chasers, hopefully I see something different. Hopefully we see something different.
Yeah.
Because we need to see something different.
Yeah.
I hope Arteta does switch it. Arteta's kind of in a position, in my opinion, where he changes up the team and loses, it's on him. He keeps the same team and loses, it's on him.
Yeah.
That's he's in a pretty much lose-lose situation.
Yeah, he's got
Obviously, you go and do the job and go and win.
Yeah.
Cool. We move on to the next game, which is Chelsea away.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Speak, let me talk to you about that stadium that's over there. You guys can't see it in the shot, St Mary's. In my head, I always say, St Mary's, tough place to go. I always say that. I think, I just don't like playing there. Probably because Southampton, since they come to the Premier League, have had some good players.
Yeah.
Adam Lallana, Dusan Tadic. You know, even now, they've got players that can hurt you. Brozier up front, I think he's on loan. Romeu, Ward-Prowse, good players. Since they've come into the Premier League, they've been a very kind of good outfit. I've liked watching them play. I always think I don't like coming to this ground. But I think we won 2-0 in Project Restart. We won 3-1 last year where Cedric played the game of his life. I think Ozil, Sanchez came here, scored a goal each. I think we beat them 2-0. We've seen Arsenal actually come here on a few occasions, pick up the results. They've dropped points as well. I think, do you remember when they were on a terrible run of form? They beat us 4-0. Shane Long had the game of his life.
Boxing Day.
Yeah.
I was there.
After we just beaten Man City 2-1. And we were thinking favourites to the title. Anyway, we'll move on from that. But this is a place we don't like to go. But what are you feeling about this Southampton side? What makes you apprehensive about coming here? If it does.
In general, it's been kind of up and down the story in recent history coming here.
Yeah.
But that whole wounded animal that I'm expecting to face.
Yeah.
Southampton don't really have much to play for. They're safe.
Sure, yeah.
You know, they're not going to really climb up the table much with the last few games of the season. But at the same time, Brighton didn't have much to play for. And Palace, aside from that Vieira incentive playing against his former club, there's not much to play for in terms. That hasn't really, you know, aided our game.
No, it's true,
Because playing against Arsenal is always a big thing for any team. Yeah. I'm worried about the wounded animal. I can't lie to you. I think I expect Hasenhuttl to really have laid into them over this last week, and you know, he's a good manager. That at times throughout the last 3 years, you know, you get these type of results and everyone doubts it. He's done a good job over there. At times people have said maybe he deserves a step up, but then these results come and then it's like, maybe he's at his level. So for me, I just expect them to be back fighting, and they've got some talent there. You know, they're dangerous from set pieces as well. We've been good defending set pieces, but they are dangerous. They got Ward-Prowse, probably one of the best.
And
top
actually,
three in the league.
Ward-Prowse is the kind of set piece taker. It doesn't matter what you do, because he just puts in the top corner. It's not like you're defending his. I mean, his delivery is superb, but more often than not, you just don't want to concede a free kick around the edge of the area.
Or corners, or you know, even crosses into the box. Sometimes you can't do nothing about it. The cross is just pinpoint, and Ward-Prowse has a lot of that.
They're a funny side, aren't they, Southampton? Because especially under Hasenhuttl, he kind of sums up their time in the Premier League. They're on a terrible run now. I think Watford came here and won. Chelsea scored 6. They lost to Leeds, I believe, or maybe drew. I think maybe. So they've had some bad results recently, and they've had a really bad run of form. And it does. You're right. People start going Hasenhuttl, but then it was only a couple of months ago they were drawing at Old Trafford, should have won at Spurs, playing really good football. You look at it, you're like, I get it. You know, they've got Brozier up front, Romeu, Ward-Prowse in midfield. They've got exciting wingers. You know, there's Salisu at the back, who's a good player. They kind of always churn out talent, no matter. They always kind of find a way. They're such a weird side, and actually, you almost look at their run of bad results. I think what scares me is that maybe a year or two ago under Hasenhuttl, they might have been really lacking confidence. Now they're probably like, well, we've been here before. Yeah, we've done this. We know we've got this in us. But we'll know we'll also turn it around. So I'm very interested to see what kind of Southampton comes out very quickly, because there is the predicted 11 show coming out with me and Cecil. So go check that out, where we basically break down what we think Arteta's going to do, what we want him to do with the starting 11. Let me just quickly get your thoughts. Couple notes. What does he have to do with the starting 11 this weekend?
Like I said, he's in a bit of a lose-lose there. But for me, he's got to change it up. I'd understand more changing it up and dropping points again than not changing it up and dropping points.
Yeah.
And I'm not confident in not changing it up. I don't think, even through the period where we was winning games, there was doubts there about Lacazette, and there was doubts there about creating chances. So I think now it's time to do something different. I think I'm with you. Tavares needs to come back in. I think it's just a natural option. It makes sense. But at the same time, do you kind of admit that you was wrong in probably the most crucial game in our season? It is what it is. We'll debate that for another day. Tavares needs to come back for me. Not much, you can do with the midfield aside from, I guess, Xhaka or Nene or Lokonga in the middle.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. At times in that first half against Brighton, he was missing.
Sure.
But with Xhaka next to him, potentially.
Oh, sorry, you're saying Tavares as Xhaka can get into midfield.
Yeah, put him back in the middle, and we'll see what happens. And in terms of up front, I'd probably now go with a Martinelli, Emile Smith Rowe. Do what you insinuated you might do in February when you was questioned about the lack of goals. Arteta himself said Emile Smith Rowe can play there when he was asked about Martinelli potentially going there because we didn't buy a striker. So essentially, now is the time to do what you insinuated we might if this became a problem. It's become a problem.
Yeah.
So I expect to see something different. I hope it does go with something different. And
let's see, guys. Send in your score predictions into the comment section below. We'll be there debating your thoughts, your feelings ahead of the game. How crucial is this for top four? As we said, Tottenham do play before, so they could open a 6-point gap on us before we even go to St Mary's. Or there could be a twist that spurs us on. Who knows? We've got to keep the hope. Hopefully Arsenal go out with the right attitude, the right performance, put 3 points on the board before we go into a really, really tough run. But don't underestimate Southampton or Hasenhüttl despite their run of form. Thanks very much, Turkish. Smash a like on this video if you enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel and we'll see you very soon.
Shop for AFTV merch at shop.aftv.co.uk. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Snapchat and Twitch. We've got content for every platform, so check it out.